Hello, I'm Habiba Balogun, and I want to make you aware of gender differences that prevent effective teamwork. I'll be drawing on research conducted by Dr. Pat Heim, as well as my own 30 years of experience in formal and informal workplaces dominated by men. The impact of gender differences can be more significant than we imagine. They can cause reputational damage, less cooperation, reduced effectiveness, delayed advancement, and overlooked leadership potential. These differences in work behaviors affect relationships between women and men, between women and other women, and amongst men, especially across generations. Why can gender differences be so destructive to our careers? In a nutshell, because of ignorance. We fail to identify gender differences in the work behavior of men, in the work behavior of fellow women, especially in the work behavior of senior women. This failure to factor in gender differences naturally affects our perceptions of each other, which leads to mutual distrust between colleagues or with superiors and can negatively impact teamwork. In Pat Heim's video, Invisible Rules, Men, Women and Teams, she highlights several gender differences that affect teamwork and leadership. I recommend that you watch that video for anyone who wishes to improve their relationship with the other gender, whether female or male. We will just explore 3 of those differences here. The first one is non-verbal communication. Did you know that when women and men nod their heads during a conversation, that the nod can often mean different things? To the woman, it means, I'm listening to you. Go on, keep going. To the man, it means, I agree with you. You are right. Can you see how this different use of nodding might cause problems? Many men feel that women cannot be trusted because they will agree with you when you're together and then they'll go off and do something different.
What's with the paper? I thought we had an agreement.
What agreement?
Oh, calm down. Let me handle this.
How did the man get the impression that she agreed with him? Yep, because of her nodding. What does a woman need to do to prevent this misunderstanding? You can try something like summarizing at the end of the conversation. Something like, thank you for your contributions, thank you for your advice, I'm still thinking about it, and I'll decide on what action to take. Or you can do what I do sometimes, I just put my hand under my chin to stop myself from nodding. Whatever it takes. Another major gender difference is meeting behavior. Meetings are called to problem solve, take decisions, and get approvals. So did you know that men tend to consult decision makers one-on-one before meetings? Whereas women tend to consult decision makers as a group during meetings? Can you see how this might cause challenges? If a male CEO is preparing for a board meeting, he will take his proposals to the chairperson and each board member one by one. He will brief them, consult them, get their input before the meeting. By the time the meeting happens, he already knows what the decision will be. The female CEO will prepare all her papers diligently before the meeting, well in advance, practice her arguments, and then go to the meeting expecting to have to convince board members as a group to give her approval. She might find directors resistant to her ideas or already decided on another course of action because they consulted each other in advance. Finally, and most importantly, being a team player means something different to different genders. It really is amazing. While both male and female leaders are effective, their leadership styles tend to be very different. In teams, male leaders tend to adopt command and control. I've given you an instruction, go ahead and obey, submit to my authority. Whereas female leaders tend to adopt a democratic or consulting approach. Welcoming your input, what do you think, seeking consensus, or a majority decision. Male leaders may look at their female subordinates and consider them not good team players because they question decisions and make unsolicited suggestions. And female leaders may consider their male subordinates almost brainless. No, that guy's not a good team player. He just obeys instructions without question and does not suggest better alternatives when he's aware of them. Now, this does not mean that men do not suggest alternatives or that women do not obey instructions. They just do it in different ways and at different times. Some do it publicly, some do it privately. Some do it immediately, some do it, with a bit of time delay. So you need to learn what your boss expects of his or her team players and adjust your style accordingly. So, what is the solution? Should women start acting like men? The answer is a resounding no. N-O. What you need to do is learn the DNA of your organization. What kind of behavior is valued in employees in your organization? What kind of behavior is expected of leaders, respected leaders in your organization? Become more aware of gender differences. Learn to identify gender bias when it arises in you. Yes, all of us have our own biases. When it arises in you and when it arises in others. Learn to identify it. Make sure your words, actions, and behaviors are correctly understood by others. Look out for cues so you can ask them, hold on, I don't think you correctly understood what I was saying. This is what I meant, right? Verify. And then finally, judge performance objectively. Look at the results, not at the style or approach. Respect diversity. Appreciate the difference in others. Be inclusive. Accommodate those differences. Be a buddy. Provide guidance to help other women and men feel welcome in your team and in your organization. See you at the top.